Charlie's medical skills were extraordinary, and he understood Tristan's own heirloom medical arts even better than Tristan did himself. If Fiona were lucky enough to serve Charlie in the future, she would certainly have the opportunity to learn from him. This was one of the reasons he had brought Fiona to the dinner. Of course, his other reason was to seek medicine from Charlie. He had been tormented by his own injuries for half his life, and now he finally had a chance to be cured once and for all. Thinking of this, Tristan gave Fiona a meaningful look, urging her to find an opportunity to get closer to Charlie. How could Fiona not understand her grandfather's intentions? Her cheeks suddenly flushed a deep, alluring red, hot with embarrassment. Fiona quickly lowered her head, but her heart was racing. From time to time she would raise her head to look at Charlie, her fingers twisting together in her lap. Mr. Wade was the most remarkable doctor she had ever seen. His character and his looks were both superior. It was no exaggeration to say he was a rare find, but she also knew in her heart that she couldn't possibly be worthy of his attention. Besides Fiona, Skylar and Warnia were also gazing at Charlie with a special intensity, their beautiful eyes never leaving him. Charlie didn't notice the gazes of the three women. He looked around at everyone and smiled. Raising his glass, he said, "Everyone, I feel very fortunate to have met you all here in Oris Hill. I arranged this dinner tonight because I wanted to connect with you all on a more personal level. I'm sure I'll need your help in the future." The moment his hand moved, everyone at the table quickly picked up their own glasses, afraid of being even a second too slow. Warnia quickly said to Charlie, "Mr. Wade, you're being too modest. If you need anything, please don't hesitate to ask. It's what we should do." Tristan added, "Mr. Wade, your reputation is world-class, and your medical skills are extraordinary. I have the utmost respect for you. If you ever have a need for me in the future, I will not hesitate to answer your call." Charlie smiled faintly and said, "All right, enough talk. Let the wine say the rest. To everyone, to Mr. Wade, cheers!" Everyone drank their wine together and then respectfully held their glasses up, not daring to put them down until Charlie did. Charlie set his wine glass down first, and then took a box out from his jacket pocket. Everyone immediately froze. Even their breathing grew quiet. All eyes were locked on the box, their excitement almost unbearable. They knew that inside that box was the magic medicine they had all been dreaming of. Charlie looked around at everyone and said calmly, "This is the medicine I've made this time." "Really?" Everyone was suddenly buzzing with excitement. They had all come for this magical medicine, and now they couldn't wait to finally see it. Charlie opened the box, revealing the 10 pills inside. He said, calmly, "Everyone, the medicine I've made this time is at least 10 times more powerful than the last batch." 10 times! The room was stunned into silence, everyone too excited to speak. They would have been happy with a magic medicine just as good as the last one, but they never expected this new medicine to be 10 times better. Charlie continued, "My medicine, I can't claim it will raise the dead or turn the living into immortals, but it can strengthen the body, extend your life, and cure all diseases. On the brink of death, as long as you have one breath left, taking my medicine can bring you back. Living for a few more years won't be a problem. So, once you take it, you must be extremely careful. Don't just take it without thinking." Everyone was in awe, their minds reeling. Could this medicine really be so incredible? The pill Charlie held was just a medicine he'd created using the mystic texts, but it made everyone's heart race. The crowd stared at the crystal-clear pill, their breathing quickening with anticipation. Of everyone there, Tristan, the oldest, was the most excited. The renowned doctor's usual calm composure was almost completely gone. He had a severe old injury that had never healed, causing him to suffer for half his life. The last time, he was lucky enough to get one of Charlie's pills, and while it eased his symptoms significantly, it wasn't a complete cure. Now, hearing that this new medicine was more than 10 times stronger than the last, Tristan was so thrilled he felt he might finally be able to heal his old wound completely. If Mr. Wade's magic medicine could really do that, it would be an incredible gift. Warnia's eyes were also filled with excitement. Even though Charlie had used acupuncture to save her grandfather, his body was still frail. If he was going to live a long and healthy life, he would need to rely on Charlie's magical medicine. So now, her gaze on the magic medicine was intense, but her gaze on Charlie was even more so. As for Christian, he nearly shouted with excitement at the thought of getting 2 of these magical medicines. Charlie said, "Some problems that modern medicine struggles with, like diabetes, kidney failure, and other serious illnesses, can be cured by taking this pill." Everyone was even more stunned by his words. Even though the conditions Charlie mentioned are common, they are all considered difficult diseases in modern medicine. Not only can they not be cured with medication, but even seeking treatment overseas offers no solution. Diabetes in particular is sometimes called the living death, and there's no known cure. But here, with Charlie's help, a single magic pill could cure it. This was simply a medical miracle. Everyone present thought to themselves, "Mr. Wade is truly a medical genius, a heavenly dragon among men." Skylar's beautiful eyes shone, and her face flushed as if on fire. She couldn't help but think that a man like Mr. Wade was destined to ascend to the celestial realm. She had to seize this opportunity. She couldn't let it pass. Fiona couldn't help but look at Charlie with admiration. His abilities were beyond anything she could have ever imagined. If she could learn even a fraction of Mr. Wade's methods, it would be enough to change the entire medical world. At that moment, Charlie saw how intently everyone was watching, smiled faintly, and said, "All right, let me hand out the medicine." They had been waiting for this moment, and their faces were filled with excitement. Charlie stood up, took out a pill with one hand, and first handed it to the oldest, Tristan. He said calmly, "Mr. Finch, this one is for you." Tristan trembled. He dropped to his knees, holding his hands up respectfully, and said humbly, "Mr. Wade has given me the medicine. Mr. Wade is too kind. I'm willing to work hard for the rest of my life to repay you." Charlie smiled slightly. "Mr. Finch, I believe our paths were meant to cross. There's no need for all that." With that, he placed the pill in Tristan's hands. Tears welled up in Tristan's eyes. Thinking of how he'd been tortured by his old injury for half his life, he instinctively wanted to take the pill right away and finally be free from the pain. Charlie stopped him and said calmly, "Mr. Finch, this medicine is very powerful. You only need to take half a capsule to cure your old injury. Save the other half. It will be of great use in the future." Tristan's heart pounded. He could be healed with just half? This was truly amazing. Thinking of this, he took out his mortar and pestle, and using the stone tool, he carefully cracked the pill in 2. Then, he opened his mouth and swallowed. Everyone watched him intently, hoping to see a miracle happen. A few seconds after Tristan took the pill, his face instantly flushed, his skin turned bright red, and he began to sweat heavily. Tristan felt a powerful vitality flow spreading through his body. It was as if his body were dry, cracked earth, and this warm current was like gentle, clean water, filling all the cracks and nourishing the entire land. He felt his stubborn old injury begin to repair itself rapidly, and his eyes widened in disbelief. "Mr. Wade, this is really amazing! The old injury that has plagued me for decades is completely healed within a few minutes." Tears streamed down Tristan's cheeks. Over the years, he had been tortured by the old illness, almost to the point of collapse. Not only was he unable to treat it himself, but he was also in constant danger of losing his life, and his existence was extremely painful. But now, half of Charlie's pill had cured him completely. It was so amazing there were no words to describe it. With a thud, Tristan knelt again and said through his tears, "Mr. Wade, you've given me my life back. If you don't mind, I am willing to treat you with the respect one gives a father and a teacher." Suffering from so much pain, the sudden recovery made him overwhelmed with excitement. Everyone saw Tristan recovering right there on the spot, and they admired the magic medicine made by Mr. Wade even more. This pill alone was worth more than 10,000 pieces of gold. After they got it, they wouldn't sell it for any amount of money. Charlie looked at Tristan, helped him up with one hand, and said, "Mr. Finch, I appreciate the sentiment, but you are an elder after all. Please don't bow to me in the future." Tristan hurriedly said, "But why?" "Mr. Wade, you are my benefactor." Seeing how stubborn Tristan was, Charlie didn't press the issue. He turned to Warnia, took out a pill, and said, "Miss Smith, this medicine is for Mr. Smith." Warnia immediately knelt in front of Charlie, just as Tristan had, and raised her hands above her head. "Thank you for giving us this medicine. The Smith family will never forget your incredible kindness." Charlie nodded and smiled. He took out 2 pills, smoothly hiding one in his sleeve while placing the other into Warnia's hands. Warnia received the medicine, her heart racing with excitement. She was about to close her hand and put the pill away safely when she felt another round object in the center of her palm. Her heart skipped a beat. She looked up at Charlie and saw him smiling at her before giving her a slight wink. In that instant, she understood exactly what he meant. Charlie was giving her an extra one and telling her to keep it quiet. Warnia was incredibly excited and touched. She had never dreamed that Charlie would give her 2 pills. What's more, the second one was given to her in secret. Did this mean the second pill wasn't for her grandfather, but for her?